Sometimes things happen and they weren't necessarily positive, whether they be situations, a series of events that took place over a long period of time or a specific event. And we're left with, okay, what do we have here? When we're left with thinking about what happened. And so to me, there's three areas to look at. The first one is the reality, what actually happened. And that's objective. It is what it is. My friend Brett, science guy, he might disagree, but for most of us in most situations, the reality is what occurred, what took place. But we're not always privy to that because sometimes we don't know what happened in other places, and sometimes our own biases get in the way, which leads to perspective. Perspective is what we believe happened. And oftentimes we mistake perspective for reality, or at least mostly, even if we pay lip service to well, I know my perspective isn't necessarily reality. We really do believe that the perspective is reality. Sometimes we think, well, this is how I saw it, but maybe it was different. Sometimes we are able to do that. And that's important. But the third part is the most important part, and that's the framing, or a simpler word, a takeaway. What do we learn from what happened? That's what's important. What did we learn? Sometimes it's a positive thing. Sometimes, like, even if something didn't work out, it's like, well, but at least I showed myself that I could do this, or at least this thing happened, or at least I know about this now. Or it could be a lesson. It could be, okay, this is something I shouldn't do in the future because it didn't turn out well. Or it could expose a personality trait or a weakness in ourselves that we need to work on. But whatever that is, that framing, that takeaway is the most important part. That's the part where we learn and grow. When we look at those events, that doesn't mean we deny our perspective of what we believe is the reality. We don't deny all the things that happen and the totality of the event. But what we do is we choose to focus on the things that are most healthy for our growth and allow us to move forward. Thank you for letting me share.